For me, the PC is the unsung hero of any Nuzlocke challenge. The ability to store Pokemon outside of your party gives you almost unlimited options when planning for big battles. It also means you can swap out your weaker early game encounters for real firepower as the story progresses. So I thought, why not ban the PC for my next playthrough of Pokémon FireRed? That means I'm stuck with my first 6 encounters for the entire run. No swapping, no backups, whatever I get early on is what I'm taking to the very end. On top of this, I'll be playing under hardcore Nuzlocke rules, banning items in battle, sticking to strict level limits, and if a Pokemon faints, it's gone forever. Except this time there's no box to pull a replacement from. Every death permanently weakens the team. So, can I become the champion using only the first 6 Pokemon I run into, with no backups and no second chances? Let's find out. So, given I can only use 6 Pokemon, the starter choice feels even more important than usual. So I have to take the undisputed best starter in the Kanto region. Odin the Bulbasaur joins the team, and instantly loses to my rival Paul's Charmander. Luckily, the Nuzlocke doesn't officially start until we get our Pokeballs, so we grab Professor Oak's package, pause, and get things underway. On Route 1, we have a 50-50 chance between Rattata and Pidgey, and this is the thing I love about this challenge run. Now, this encounter usually has little to no impact on the run, but whoever pops up here is going to have a real butterfly effect on the playthrough. With the Guts ability, Raticate can be a real versatile attacker, however Pidgeot has type advantage over Bug, Grass and Fighting types. Anyway, the coin toss lands on Rattata and Doss joins the team. Now, as much as I'd love to go and get revenge on Paul, I'm not risking encounters on Route 22 or Route 2, so it's straight to Viridian Forest, the home of our next team member. Or is it? Because what happens next is one of the craziest things I've seen in my time doing Nuzlockes. After taking down some bug catchers, we make it to this point, the furthest point in Viridian Forest you can reach without going through any grass. And as I prepare to take the hit, and probably add a Caterpie to the team, I start walking. And nothing happens. That's weird, but I'm sure when I get through this patch of grass... Okay. I take down this trainer and get ready to accept my fate. Okay, now that's really strange. Anyway, I'll just beat this guy up and... we make it all the way through Viridian Forest without an encounter. That was insane. So I did run the numbers on this and apparently it's just a 0.3% chance of this happening. However, it does put me in an interesting predicament. I have a level 9 Rattata and a level 7 Bulbasaur, and nowhere to grind, because if I go into a patch of grass I'll have to catch what I find. And no offence to the good citizens of Viridian Forest, but I'd really like to save some of my encounters for later on in the game. So, armed with a level 7 Bulbasaur, it's time to take on the gym. Odin is able to take out the gym trainers Geodude and Sandshrew, learning Vine Whip in the process. This gives us enough firepower, or Rasp power, to take on Brock. The decision to take Kanto's best starter pays off as Odin takes out Geodude and Onix without a problem, winning us our first badge. As Odin and Doss steamroll their way through Route 3, things can't help but feel a little lonely, and I'm presented with an interesting business transaction. For the low price of just $500, I can add this Magikarp to my team. Given that I won't be able to use the box or catch anyone else, it's imperative that I add a water type to the team. And they don't come much better than Gyarados. But honestly, everyone uses Gyarados, so I decide to skip it for now and take my chances in Mount Moon, where Misato the Geodude joins the team. This is an insanely good pool, as 1, Zubat and Paras kinda suck, and 2, I was worrying for Surge. This also means I can scrap my plan to visit Diglett Tunnel for a guaranteed ground type. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves for now though, as we make it safely through Mount Moon and skip the grass on Route 4. Wanting to also avoid the grass on Route 22 and Route 23, we do once again find ourselves in the interesting situation where we have nowhere to grind for the upcoming gym battle. However, the freshly evolved Odin gets to the level cap by beating everybody on Route 24. Thankfully, Odin is all we need for Misty, as he takes out Staryu in a single hit. Starmie is up next, and Odin just missed the 2-hit KO. Not to worry though, as Odin once again proves that I made the correct starter choice, winning us badge number 2. After avoiding even more encounters on routes 5 and 6, seriously, when I came up with this idea, I didn't realise how easy it was to avoid touching grass in the Kanto region. We pick up an incredibly useful item in Vermilion City, the VS Seeker, which lets me battle trainers I've previously faced, meaning I can safely grind some experience on this girl and her 3 Pidgeys. Okay, never mind, let's just go to the SSN. Misato and Odin are very close to the level cap, so DOS gets a lot of love here, and after almost dying to a Growlithe, evolves into Eradicate. With nothing else to do, it's time to inflict some pain and suffering on our rival Paul. Misato takes out Pidgeotto with a couple of Rock Tombs before Charmeleon comes in and makes us miss a Magnitude 8 thanks to Smokescreen. Not to worry, as Misato lands a Magnitude 9 on the next turn. DOS is on hand to clean up Paul's Kadabra before giving his illegal Raticate a one-way ticket to the Shadow Realm. After being forced to rub the captain's back, which has never sat right with me, what kind of ship is this? I realised the next oversight I made when cooking up this challenge run. I have to teach someone Cut. Sorry DOS. However, this does mean we are able to access the Vermilion City gym, and after making easy work of the gym puzzle, it's time to take on Surge. DOS takes out Voltorb and Pikachu with no bother whatsoever, and as Raichu comes in, we make the switch to Misato on a Shockwave. All Raichu can muster up is a Quick Attack, so as Misato lands a critical hit Magnitude 6, we earn ourselves the Thunder Badge. So, you should know the drill by now, we make our way towards Celadon City, avoiding grass and battling trainers along the way. However, just like Death, Taxis and Thanos, an encounter in the Rock Tunnel is inevitable, and we finally add our 4th encounter to the team. Meet Fyra, the Mankey, and as we safely make it out the other side, I find myself in yet another strange situation. I don't really have an answer for Erica, and my team is also crying out for a water type. I could easily fish something up, but there's also an Eevee in Celadon that could solve quite a few problems. I could also go to the game corner and pick myself up an Abra. I am though, for once, able to resist the bright lights of the casino, come to my senses and grab Go the Eevee, who I immediately evolve into Vaporeon. Speaking of Vaporeon, did you know that only 7% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed? If you do somehow find yourself enjoying the video, I post weird Pokemon challenge runs on an infrequent basis, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. I also check my YouTube analytics like 10 times a day and get really excited when the number goes up. Anyway, Go becoming a Vaporeon does mean we have to kinda thug it out for Erica, and my plan for this is to convert Fyra into an honorary flying type. I teach her Aerial Ace, and thankfully this works a treat as she kinda goes to town on the gym trainers, evolving into a slightly bigger, angrier monkey in the process. We lead things off with Fyra against Erica, and she's able to take out Erica's Victory Bell with a couple of Aerial Aces, thanks in part to a huge Spore Miss. Tangela is up next, and while Erica is playing checkers, I'm playing 8D chess, as we switch into DOS, who gets poisoned on the switch. This triggers his Guts ability, which means we can take out this bulky little bush with a Hyper Fang and a Quick Attack. Vileplume is a tougher ask, so we switch into Odin, who combined with our Terraflying Primeape to take out Vileplume and win us badge number 4. We do however have some unfinished business in Celadon City, as I am a bit of a gambling addict and it's only right I pay a visit to my favourite place. By the way, if you want to see me beat this game using Pokemon you can win in the game corner, you can find that video on the channel once we're done here. Anyway, after I once again defeat the evil blackjack dealer, we head across to the Pokemon Tower, where, after Misato takes her dog Paul for yet another walk, we're met with an interesting dilemma. You see, I have one spot left on the team, and a mandatory haunted tower to go through, so after racking my brain for like 8 seconds, I decide to add my final party member right here. Meet Six, the Ghastly, who, after defeating hundreds of our doppelgangers, see what I did there? Evolves into Haunter. Now armed with a full squad, and the Pokeflute, it's basically one big boss rush until the end of the game. So after the mother of all grinds, we kick things off with the single worst gym leader of all time, Koga. I really wish there was something I could add to the gameplay footage here, but I literally clicked Psychic 4 times. How this loser got promoted to the Pokemon League will forever baffle me. So after that bloodbath, I think it's only fair we throw in some difficult fights. And first up is Paul, who leads with his Pidgeot. I go with Go, who makes her debut and gets a KO with an Aurora Beam. I can't say that. Aurora Beam. As Execute comes out, we switch into DOS, who gets paralysed and Guts activates. This gives him the power boost to take out Alakazam and Gyarados. What a monster! And this is another reason why I love this challenge so much, because if I was playing normally, this guy would be locked in the deepest depth of the box right now. Back to the fight, and after Misato gets wrecked on the switch, it's back to Go who gets the KO on Charizard. Sex is feeling a little bit left out, so we let her loose on Giovanni. Forget about it. And it does not end well for the Godfather. Next up is Sabrina, who presents a giant Alakazam shaped problem. You see, this thing has ridiculous speed and hits very hard, and it looks like Unk here might be cooked. Sex might be able to outspeed, but doesn't have the moveset to guarantee a one-hit KO. So, with losing a team member looking like a real possibility, I do what I always do when I'm sad. Go to the casino, and it's here where I get the TM for Shadow Ball, which gives Sex the firepower she needs to one-shot Sabrina's entire team. Further proof that gambling always pays off. With the slight road bump of Sabrina out of the way, we're clear to press the surf button 9 whole times, which lets us scoop up the final 2 badges of the Kanto region. After an uneventful rival battle with Paul, we make our way through Victory Road and prepare ourselves to take on the Elite Four. First up is Lorelei, and we kick things off with Fyra, who's able to take out Dugong with a cross chop. In comes Slowbro, who threatens with a Psychic, so we make the switch into Go as she uses Amnesia. Okay. After a bite from us and another Amnesia, Lorelei starts her nonsense and uses Yawn. So naturally, I switch out into another Yawn. After some more tomfoolery, we eventually switch into Sex, who gets the KO with the Shadow Ball. As Lapras comes out, we switch into Go, who water absorbs some HP back. Unfortunately, Lorelei is not finished with the tomfoolery. First, we get confused, and then frozen. Then, after thawing out, Go hits himself. Not once, not twice, but 4 times, before getting frozen again. Luckily, Doss is on hand to eat an Ice Beam and get the KO with Thunderbolt. Luckily, Cloyster can't do anything to Go, who whittles down its HP before moving into Sex on the heel. And this is exactly who we want on the field, as she gets the KO with Thunderbolt before outspeeding Jinx for another one-hit KO. 1 down, 3 to go. Fortunately, one of these 3 is Bruno, who just so happens to be one of the worst Elite Four members of all time. Seriously, this guy is a joke. The only way you could get a worse Elite Four member would be if you were to promote some bum like Koga. Anyway, he's so bad that we lead with Fyra, who takes out his Onix with a low kick. Not learning from what happened 4 seconds ago, Bruno sends out another Onix, who meets the exact same fate. Sure didn't see that one coming. Next up is Hitmonchan, so we go for an Aerial Ace. Mother f***. Okay, I've learned my lesson, so I'm going to give Agatha the respect she deserves. So we unleash Sex, who pulverizes her entire team. Sorry Agatha, you just caught me at a really bad moment. Anyway, it's time for the final member of the Elite Four, the Dragon Master, Lance. We're still not taking any chances though, as Sex gets the KO on Gyarados with a Thunderbolt. I don't think Aerodactyl can do much to me here, so we stay in and just get the crit with a Thunderbolt. You know, it's hard to paint this thing as a challenge when Gengar exists. I mean, I was very fortunate to get her, but she just absolutely nukes the Elite Four. Dragonite comes out and I feel kinda bad, so I go into Go on a safeguard. And this is the worst thing he could have done, as this means Go is free to clean up with an Ice Beam. The 2 Dragonites that follow go down the exact same way, meaning we've defeated the Elite Four. Which means it all comes down to this. We started our journey with a dream, to Nuzlocke our way through the Kanto region using only the first 6 Pokemon we ran into, and now all that stands between us and victory is the champion, Paul. He leads with Pidgeot, who goes straight down thanks to a Thunderbolt from, you guessed it, Sex. I mean, it wasn't going to be anyone else, was it? She then takes down Alakazam with the Shadow Ball, followed by Gyarados with another Thunderbolt. Executor actually manages to survive a Shadow Ball, and is able to slow down Sex Massacre by putting her to sleep. Slowing her down is all Executor can do though, as she eventually wakes up and continues her bloodbath. Paul's penultimate Pokemon is Rhydon, and I do actually get a bit of a scare as he goes with an Earthquake, which is sure to kill Sex. JK lol, if she wasn't broken enough, she also has Levitate as an ability. I do feel a little guilty though, and it's only fair that other children get to play, so we make the switch into Go, who outspeeds Rhydon and gets the KO with Surf. Paul's last Pokemon is Charizard, who tries a Fire Blast, but Go eats it up and gets the knockout with a big juicy Surf, which means we win the battle and the entire run. So in terms of challenges I've done, that's probably one of my favourites. Compared to a standard Nuzlocke, each encounter bared so much weight on how the playthrough would pan out. Admittedly, I lucked out massively with the no encounter of Viridian Forest, but I love that I could repeat this a few more times and have entirely different playing experiences. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, I've got a bunch more challenge runs where I play with some kind of strange rule set. But until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.